Hi, I'm Jim Schnyder, and welcome to my speakeasy. Hi, I'm Jim Schnyder with Recruiting Advisors. Started my company about 6 years ago. It's a boutique consulting firm. Have 8 consultants and am continuing to grow. We specialize in HR technology and helping with implementations of CRMs and ATSs. Also been on the board of ATAP, the Association for Talent Acquisition Professionals, and also my 17 years with PepsiCo, where I was in sourcing and recruiting there. Also the global process and tools lead, where I helped out with the operating model and all of the processes and technology globally for the company. So today what I'd like to be able to do is share some of the things that I've learned over the years and some tips and some tricks for not only talking about how to help engage candidates, but also with budgets and the ways that I see industry trends happening to be able to find funds and money for some tools and technology in HR. So let's get to it. So as a past Grandmaster from SourceCon, I constantly get asked about what are some of my tips and techniques and best strategies for engagement, drip campaigns, etc. So that's one of the things I've done throughout my career. One of the things that I will tell you and what makes a big difference is sequences. And one of the things that I absolutely love about speakEZ, and when I am helping with consulting and educating clients on leveraging, whether it's their own systems for outreach and engagement or whether it's speakEZ, is on it's the importance of sequences. It's the importance of not just a one and done outreach, but more of, I like to see at least 3 messages. And I think that's normal in drip campaigns, right? That you want to have 1 that's a first outreach, 2 that is, hey, what happened? Did we miss you? And 3, kind of a final follow-up or something like that. speakEZ allows you to be able to set up sequences if you want 5, you want 3, you want 2. But in working with clients, we have seen that the spike is not so much on the first outreach, it's actually on the third. And if done well, you can get your numbers from your sequences and have people follow up. And so why it's so important to have a drip sequence. Now, when I'm working with clients, one of the things that I do hear and see is that people they'll go to messaging like they always have, which is, if they've been using LinkedIn, they've never had to do a kind of what I would call almost like a cold outreach, because you're sending an email to someone, not a email to somebody that's already on a platform. And the thing that you have to do is you have to do it just a little bit differently. You have to think like a marketer. You have to think like someone that's in your recruitment marketing team, if you have one. And what that means is you have to have a strategic call to action. You have to make it to where it is a no-brainer, like the easy button of like, press this, of what am I supposed to do when I finish reading your message. When I go through with clients and they've said, hey, I'm not getting the return on my outreach and my drip sequence, I immediately say, what is your call to action? And they usually don't have an answer. And one of the things I love about speakEZ is a lot of people may not be leveraging this as much as you can, but there are some great calls to action that you can leverage at the very end. Down at the bottom, you can do a couple things. So when I'm helping my clients to improve their results and their click-through rates, the thing that I always recommend is put down there's a call to action that you can have, which is are you interested? Do you want to hear more about this opportunity? Buttons down at the bottom. That's the first thing. The other one is that speakEZ actually allows you to connect up Calendly to the system, which then allows the individual to book a time on your calendar. Make it super simple for them and have a call to action at the end of your sequence. Make it super simple, because too many times I see that where someone will say, hey, let me know if you're interested. That's not really a call to action. That's not driving them to do something. Now they got to reply to you, maybe if they have an interest, but if you make it so simple as just click, click, they're in and out within 30 seconds. So make it super simple for them with a call to action that works very well. And I just would think, I would tell you that your results will increase tremendously. One last thing that I do want to make sure that you are aware of and that I share whenever it comes to sequences or whenever it comes to recruitment messaging, obviously I think people know personalization is key. Try to make it personalized to the individual. Try to say something that makes it to where they're not just they're a number, they're more of, you've actually done a little bit of homework on them. With sequences, that's always tough to do because you're not able to get into the personalization, but I want to make sure that, if you have a capability and a way of doing that, that's always very beneficial. But the other piece that's so important is to make sure in your messaging that it's time sensitive, and that I am known for what I call my 60-second ask, where I always try to say, hey, I'm Jim Schnyder reaching out to you. I wanted to find out if I could take 60 seconds. Could you do this? Could you do this? So in your call to action, just say, can you take 60 seconds and let me know if you're interested or not? Can you take 60 seconds and do this? Would you take 60 seconds and set up a time to talk to me? That way they know it's not going to take 45 minutes for them to fill out an application, or they're going to need to do something else. But if you're setting a time parameter of, can you please take 1 minute out of your time to do this next step, I think it's very beneficial, and you'll see again your results and your click-through rates and your clicking on the call to action of what you want them to do increase. So hopefully that helps. Another way that I see companies leverage budgets in order to make sure that they can have additional HR technology or tools is to look at being a little creative with their static budgets, meaning that you don't have additional dollars and cents to be able to spend because you've been given a set budget. And what I see a lot of times is that there are corporations and companies that will give all these LinkedIn licenses to all of their recruiters. When I used to manage these as an admin for a large corporation, I noticed that about 20% of those licenses never were really maximized or used. And we used to have a methodology and a process to where we would take some of those licenses and we would actually sometimes turn them off and see how long it would take for people to realize their license had been turned off. But there were some situations where if you're looking for a budgetary capability of being able to have additional money, you could, if your contract allows for it, reduce on your LinkedIn recruiter spend in order to have additional money for consulting, for tools, and for technology. And that's one play that I see a lot of clients and customers leverage in order to create money for new opportunities, tools, and tech within a static budget. So hopefully you've learned a thing or two about trends, budgets, engagement strategies, call to action, etc. And it's one of those where if you have more interest in learning about how to integrate systems or maximizing your outreach from some of your drip sequences or whatever, you can always talk to your account rep at speakEZ. Also available, Jim Schnyder, Recruiting Advisors with an ORS, Advisors. So hopefully you've appreciated the kind of one-way fireside chat that we're having here, but it's been my honor to have you in my home today for the speakEZ, and happy hunting.